Right, so today I thought we'd work again on mobilising our hips. So if you want to come to a seated position, a comfortable seat, wherever that might be for you today, you don't have to be in cross-legged, so you might want your feet, if it's cross-legged and comfortable this morning, you can always put your feet flat on the floor, so this can be more comfortable for those, particularly if your lower spine is feeling a bit tight. So you can sit like this, you can sit with your legs out long, doesn't matter, just find what is comfortable, particularly as I know cross-legged is not the most accessible pose for everybody, so don't worry if coming here you feel tight. It's a cold morning for many of us this morning, so make sure you're warm enough in your space. Okay, so wherever you are, let's find that length in the spine by lifting through the crown of the head and just starting to find some space. So this is the time for you to adjust. Maybe you want to move the body around. Wherever you are, you want your sit bones nice and rooted down. So your sitting bones, two sort of more prominent bones, make sure you can feel them on your mat or on the floor. So that when we inhale and take the arms up, we can really find that space between side ribs, so these intercostal muscles between the ribs. Inhale, lift here, and then exhale down. We're just going to do that a couple of times just to start to get connection with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. So if you can breathe in and out through the nose, all the better. Maybe finding the shoulders, a little bit of movement coming through here as we rotate them around. I'm going to do one more, taking the arms up and overhead. Exhaling the hands down, placing the right hand down to the side of the mat. So you might have your fingertips on the mat, you might be able to put the whole hand on the mat. You may be able to bring a little bend to the elbow. So wherever we are, we're going to start to sink into that right hand. Make sure your left sit bone stays on the mat. As the left arm comes up and overhead, reach it up. As you exhale, we're going to soften to the right side. So there may be a little bit of bend. Might be able to get onto the forearm. Don't worry if you can't. And if you notice when you come down, your left sit bone pops up, just ease out a little. So let's bring our attention while we're breathing here to that left shoulder. Can we roll back that left shoulder, left elbow, either looking up or looking down? So you'll notice one will be more comfortable on the neck. Doesn't matter which it is. Hold here, but keep the breath moving. And then we're going to use the next inhale to sweep that left hand around, coming to the other side. So finding where your fingertips, the flat of your hand, or a little bend in that left arm as the right arm comes up and sinks on the exhale. So you're using your breath. The inhale finds space, and your out breath, your exhale softens. So once we get into this familiar breathing technique of using and connecting with the breath, you can really find more movement, and it's really tuning into what the body needs. So rather than forcing ourselves into a stretch, we're just finding our own stretch. So let that right hand come down. We're going to do it once more on the side. So inhaling, lift. Exhale, soften. You might find a little bit more space to move now. See if you can take the breath deep down so it's not too shallow and high in your chest. And let's sweep that hand around, right arm up and over. Finding a little bit more space again. So those hips are working hard to keep down level. Inhale, back to centre. Take the fingertips in front of you. Again, it doesn't matter where your legs are. And start to hinge the body forwards. So sometimes a tiny hinge forwards might be enough by sending the sit bones back, making sure you're rooting down. So we don't want the bottom to come off the mat. Maybe there's a little bit of bend. So it doesn't matter if you're on your fingertips or your hands are flat. We're just trying to work a little bit here. And if you need to move your feet, sometimes we find that one way of crossing the legs is more comfortable than the other. In fact, not sometimes, usually, that's quite normal. So just move around as you need to. We don't need to be static in any of these moves. We're thinking about just creating a bit more space the whole time. So using your breath, maybe even to come out, means that on your exhale you can find a bit more space to move into your pose. So sticking with the breath, just allowing the body just to soften as you come forwards. And then using the next inhale just to come back up to centre. Taking the body around now, we're coming into all fours. So finding where the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hip points. So just find that stability, that neutral spine. We're going to work through our cat-cow. So as you drop the belly and the pelvis, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, chin comes up. Start with that tailbone as you ripple through the body, letting the chin come down. So this is a nice way to start to articulate the spine. So you're keeping your arms long and your legs aren't moving. What we're really trying to focus this lovely movement on is a wave-like movement through the spine. Remembering that the head is essentially a continuation of the spine as the upper two vertebrae connect to the back of the head. So really making this movement as big as feels appropriate. Might be really nice and slow this morning. And you might find you can notice some chinks in the spine. So sometimes we get to a place where we just notice a little knot, a little tightness. You can hold here and breathe a little, really directing that breath into that area so that as you start to mobilise again, really that attention is very focused on those areas. Rather than working like a machine, we're just working to our own body's needs today. And then let's settle into a neutral spine, and we'll take that left leg out long. So we're pointing the toes today. The left leg is hip height. We're starting to engage in the core, keeping the shoulders level if you can. We're going to start to draw circles with that left leg. So watch if you're getting a bit wobbly. See if you can make these circles big and slow and focused. So we're using the glutes and the quad of that left leg while the rest of the body is stable. So the core is having to work here. And then reverse the circle. So whichever way you were doing that circle, let's see if we can make it the same on the other side. Can you smooth out the edges of it so the shape is nice and round? One more. And then hold, so we're reaching that left leg away. And then we add a little bit more by reaching the right arm away. So your core is really working strong now. Take a big breath in. As we exhale, slowly draw the knee and the elbow towards each other. So don't worry if you wobble a little bit. This is just noticing where areas to work on. So think of inhale, opening, exhale slowly as you can, really engaging in your core. You're squeezing the elbow towards the knee. Inhale, open. Remember to find space on your inhale so that we've got that energy to draw the body together on the exhale. I'm just going to do two more here. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw the knee to the chest, and then slowly place that knee and that hand back onto the mat. Send the sit bones down to the heels. Walk the fingertips forwards and let the head come down into your child's pose. So you're resting here for 3 breaths. So don't worry about looking at the screen, just let the body sink here. Catch your breath. One big last inhale. As you exhale, roll that body forwards. Just engaging once more in your core, finding that length. So we'll go to the other side. Take the right leg out, so really point that toe away. Make sure the knee is dialed downwards. And then we're going to start our circles, originating around the hip. So slow and steady. Keep your focus down. It's going to help your balance. So 2 more on this side before we reverse that circle. So whichever way you're going, just reverse that circle. Really targeting this stretch, really good for your quads. 2 more. And then reach the toes away. Reach the left hand away, so fingers reaching. As we exhale, we're drawing the knee to the chest. Squeeze Inhale, open. So if you find yourself wobbling, just catch your balance by bringing your focus, your attention back into your practice. Often we are off balance because the mind is wandering. So either you're thinking about something else or starting, the eye gaze is drifting. If we can train the body to really focus and the mind focus on what we're doing, it's a great way to help your balance. And then we can really, we're just going to do one more. Inhale, reach. And slowly place the hand and the knee down. And once more, sink the hips back. Extend the fingertips forwards. Let the forehead come down for 3 breaths. Come back up to all fours. Find your centre. We're going to do the same by taking the left leg out, so again pointing the left toes. You're going to swivel on your right knee, so the right calf is now 90 degrees, it's away. Your left toes will be down pointing, so that you've got your left toes, your right knee and your right hand more or less in alignment. And then we're going to peel back the body, so as you rotate that left arm up and over, we find a nice openness in the chest here. So you're reaching fingertip away from toes, we've got that line through the body. So all the weight is on, you've got your right foot facing back, untuck the toes of the right foot if you haven't already untucked them. So inhale, hold here. And then we're going to start to lift the leg and the hands at the same time. Don't worry about how high they go, and lower. So we're going to do a few of these. Seeing if you can keep them in line with each other. So if you gaze down at your leg, can you keep it in line with your arm? It's a really nice thing, isn't it, about home practice? Nobody's watching, doesn't matter if you fall. So we just make this movement as slow as you want. Again, look down if the neck doesn't like looking up. You often get sore neck. Just going to do 2 more. And then hold. So we're holding the leg out, holding the arm. I know the leg's burning. Reach, keep breathing. Lower that left leg. Take the right leg down, right arm down. Send the hips back once more. So ending up in your extended child. Forehead to the mat. Roll the body forward, so we know where we're going now. We're going to go onto the side. So make sure you have your foundation before we start, always important. Swiveling that left knee 90 degrees, pointing the right toes away, checking your alignment as the right arm comes up and over. So we're really reaching fingertips away from toes, finding that expansiveness, strength through the upper body. And then we'll start our pulsing. So as we inhale, we're lifting arm and leg and lowering. So 3 more. 1, 2. Last one, and hold. So hold your leg parallel to the floor, reach your arm high. Look down if the neck's starting to pinch. Keep breathing. And then lower that leg, lower that hand. Bring the big toes together. The knees nice and wide. Sink the hips back. Send the fingers forwards, and we're starting this time to work the chest down. So you can keep your wrists off the mat, keep your elbows off the mat, and start to send the chest and the forehead down. So we're really getting a nice release through the hips here, sending those hips as far back as you comfortably can. Inhale, length, and exhale, just finding softness. And then rolling the body forwards, coming into all fours, taking the legs around. You're going to come into a staff pose. So now finding your sit bones, backs of the legs, heels on the mat. take a look and see if your knees and your toes are directly facing upwards, so we've not got our feet splayed out to the side. It can be a lot more comfortable to do this with the legs slightly further apart. You can have them as wide as you like, take them as wide as that. The wider they are, the greater the base of support we're creating for ourselves. So I often tell students that it's much better to be here, swimming the arms behind you, using either the fingertips or the flats of the hands, doesn't matter. Squeeze the shoulder blades down as we lift the crown of the head. So you're just going to start to find where our spine is long. For many, when we sit here, we're sitting in this position. The spine is collapsing. We don't have the core strength to lift the body up. So working that core strength, first of all, we're going to find where we are comfortable. And then when we feel, yep, that's the point where I'm long and tall, that's the point to take the hands forwards and see if the body can work and hold itself. So we're really using the core, using the back muscles, so the big muscles around the back. Start, if you haven't already, to draw the toes towards the face. So instead of floppy feet, can we have active feet? So working hard here. If you want a little bit more, push the heels away. You're engaging in your glutes, so like you're squeezing your thighs together and drawing them up. Maybe there's a tiny lift in the heels. Don't worry if there's not. It's just the feeling of engagement that we're trying to look for here. Keeping the back tall, watching we haven't slumped in the lower spine. Keep breathing. And then lower the legs. Put the hands underneath the knees. Feet flat on the floor. Wrap the arms around them. And just scoop the body down. So you're just curling around, hugging the knees. And then as we come around, take the body back to wherever you started. So maybe you started in cross legs, maybe you started with your legs out long. So wherever you started, take the body up nice and tall. Make sure you're engaging back in those sit bones. Send the shoulders down the back body. So we've got lots of space between the bottom of the ears and the tops of the shoulders. Really, as if I was pressing my hands lightly on the backs of your shoulders. If I was holding my hands on your shoulders, you would feel that gentle weight. You'd feel the shoulder blades hugging into the body. So tension is released from the neck. And your breath is nice and even and steady. So you can just stay here and work on letting those hips soften. Keep taking some breaths. And enjoy this practice for the rest of the day. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, Catherine.